First, welcome back to everyone. I believe that I've met everyone at this point. Is there anyone in here I have not met? Perfect. It's good to have everyone here. I know I'm super excited to be here. We've got a lot of assistant coaches here as well. You've met most of them. We're going to introduce everyone tonight. Biggest thing I want to do tonight, we've got a lot to go over. We're going to open it up at the end for any questions. Anything that you have on your mind, feel free to let us know at the end. I want to make sure that when we get into the season next week, that we've got a really clear idea of what we're doing. We understand the rules. We understand our values. We're also going to have a meeting tomorrow night. We're going to break up into offensive players and pitchers. If you're a two-way guy, we'll just throw you in one of those two groups. But the goal is to have all of this stuff finished so that when we get on the field, we know exactly what we want to do. Let's get into it. Caleb, why don't you start us off? He's going to lead us in prayer real quick, and then we'll get rolling. Amen. Okay, first thing I wanted to start off with, this is directly from our website. So this is the athletics mission. Gordon Athletics exists to disciple student athletes towards deep Christian faith and steadfast character while equipping them for service and leadership, all in the pursuit of victory. That's fantastic, but what I want to do is I want us to figure out tomorrow night, and this is part of what we're going to do in our positional meetings, and we're also going to have at the end, we'll have all of you come together, is figure out what do we want our mission statement to be. So who are we? What's our core purpose? What do we believe in? What are our goals and our values? Because for me, it doesn't mean anything unless you guys take ownership of it, you believe it, and you live it. This is great and it's fantastic, but I want us to have our own mission statement. So we'll work on that tomorrow. And again, it's got to be ours. It's not going to come from me. I'm going to go through some things today that I think are important, but again, I want our core values to be from you guys because you guys are the ones that are going to have to live it. All right, I want to talk a couple of minutes here about both of our journeys here. My journey here, our journey here, and then everyone in this room. So for me, it was 13 months ago that I went for this job. I wanted to be a head coach in college baseball. That's been my goal for a long time. I've been an assistant at a bunch of different places. We'll talk about it. I wanted to be a head coach. I went for the job 13 months ago. I did not get it. This was the first time in my life where I tried to do something that I desperately wanted, and I was told no. 5 months later, this job opened up again. I went for it a second time. I said, I have to get it this time. There's no way I don't get it. I felt qualified. I felt ready. Didn't get it again. Crushed me. 4 months after that, job came open again. I went for it for a third straight time. At this point, I think the school thought I was crazy. I just kept going for it. I wasn't going for any other jobs. This is the only job I kept going for. Thankfully, after 3 times, I got the job. Thinking about what you guys have gone through, how many people here have now had 4 coaches in 15 months, 14 months? How many guys here are in that boat? A good amount of you, right? That's a world record. I think. I went through 1 coaching change in my career, and that was like a big deal. My coach got fired after my freshman year. That was like crushing for me. I went there to play for the guy. So I had to adjust. Going through 4 coaches in a little over a year, unheard of. So both of us, I just started to think about the things that I had to go through during those 3 times, well, twice being told no and finally getting it a third time. And then what you guys have had to do, because you could have easily, many of you could have just left and gone someplace else. Right? A lot of players after 1 coaching change do that. You guys made it through 4. A couple of things. Again, these don't have to be our core values, but just some things that I thought about through the process. Being resilient, the ability to bounce back after disappointments. I had 2 of them. Keep showing up even after rejection or setbacks. And then staying committed even when the process takes longer than you expected. Having patience, understanding that opportunities often take time. Mine took a year. Staying steady while waiting for the right door to open. Having faith, trusting that your work, preparation, and dedication will eventually pay off. I know I felt like I was ready for the job. Doesn't mean you're going to get it. Doesn't mean you're always going to be successful, but I trusted that I was ready for it. Believing in your teammates and your school despite outside criticisms. That's you guys sticking together through all that. And then carrying hope forward through all the adversity that you guys have been through in the last year. And then staying committed. So being committed, choosing to stay steadfast when it would have been easier to walk away. Like I said, you guys had plenty of opportunities to leave. And there's a lot of guys here that came into the situation where there was a lot of turmoil, right? So that also took a lot of courage and commitment. and then showing loyalty to the process and to the team for everyone that has been in this room for a while now and has stuck through it. So the biggest thing when I'm thinking about this is I understand that you guys didn't choose me. A few of you did. A couple of you guys just transferred in because I was here. But the majority of the room didn't choose me. They didn't choose to come play for me or the staff. The important thing to remember is that I chose you guys and our staff chose you guys. And we did it because we believe in you as players, yes, but we more importantly believe in you as people. And that's one of the biggest things. That's what drew me to the school. Yes, we have good players, but I've known Gordon baseball for the last 10, 12 years, and it's the people that I've always been really impressed with. So that is what drew me here, are the people in the room. So a couple things on belief. Belief is the acceptance, conviction, or trust that something is true even if it cannot yet be proven. So when I went for this job, said you can't win there. I was told, because I know a lot of people in the baseball community, and I told a lot of people I was going for the job, and then told them again, and then had to tell them again the third time. And so many people said, why would you go to Gordon? You can't win at Gordon. They don't win there. Why would you go there? So I looked it up. How many winning seasons has Gordon baseball had in the last 23 years? Does anyone know? Close. One. 2014 was a winning season. So there's been a lot of not winning seasons over the last 23 years. I really don't care, honestly. I loved it. When everyone said, why are you going there? You can't win there. I love it when people say you can't do something. I feel like my whole life, and I know a lot of you, probably everyone has been told you can't do something. When I went to play college baseball, everyone told me I can't go down south to play at Wake Forest. You'll never play there. You can't go there. So I went and I proved that I could play there. And then when I said I wanted to get drafted, people were like, you can't get drafted. People from Massachusetts don't get drafted. I loved it. Got drafted. Then they said, you can't play in the major leagues. Awesome. I did it. I love when people tell me I can't. We should all love the fact that maybe only in the last 23 years we've had one winning season and people say you can't win there, but I absolutely believe we are going to win. I know it. So I don't care what anyone else thinks, what anyone else tells me, other than the people and the players in the room. That's all that I care about. 1,000 people have told me you can't do it. I love it. I don't care what they think. Neither does the screen. So Mark 23, everything is possible for ones who believe. And belief for me is just the starting point because you have to believe. I do believe that, but you can't just believe. And we're going to get into some of the things that it takes. But the biggest thing is for me, today marks a new chapter in Gordon baseball history. And I'm pumped to be part of the next chapter of Gordon baseball. So the first thing, it always starts for me with the work. I wrote this before last night, but we had uncommon on the back of our shirts. Be uncommon, be elite, expect greatness. We got to expect to win. But it takes, I like to say, it takes what it takes. It is not going to be easy. So we're going to give you a plan. You've got to trust the plan. You got to embrace the work that we're going to put you through. It's not going to be comfortable. So you have to embrace having the discomfort, the pain. It's going to be hard because it is hard to be really good or to be great. If it wasn't hard, then everyone would be great, and not everyone is. So it's going to be hard. The standard is the standard, and no one's above the standard. You'll find out what the standard is as we move forward. You're going to see the way we go about our work. You're going to see how much we care about helping all of you be the best players and people you can be, and that's the standard. And no one is above it. So if you're not holding up your end of the bargain, it doesn't matter. If you started last year, you were the best player on the team, it doesn't matter. No one's above the standard. And then your habits of today must be in alignment with your dreams of tomorrow. So if you want to be great, but you don't have great habits, you'll never get there. It's all about what you do day to day to day, right? Today plus today plus today equals our season. Today plus today plus today equals the rest of your life. So it's all about the habits that we have. Let's get into our staff real quick, and then we'll get more into some of our values. So one of the biggest things I did when I got the job here is I wanted to surround myself with great coaches, and lots of them, as you can see, and people that I know will make you better, and I know will care about you, and I know they're going to work their asses off to help you be the best players and people you can be. So we have 3 full-time assistants, which I don't know how many, who's been here for a while, have we ever had 3 full-time assistants plus a head coach that's in the office and at everything, right? We'll be at every practice. I don't know if I wrote this down. We'll be at every practice. We'll be at every game. We're in the office. This is uncommon. We said uncommon before. Like, that's uncommon for a Division III team. And we're always available, so you can always reach any of us. We have a full-time hitting coach. We have a full-time pitching coach. We have a full-time catching coach. And we have a scouting director who is actually baseball ops, but we're going to change his title. We'll talk about Brian in a second. And we have a combination of major league experience, Division I, Division II, and Division III experience. So we've all coached or played at every single one of those levels, which, again, is very unique for a college coaching staff. I'll start with Coach Nick Lepori. Coach Nick's pitching coach here at Gordon, pitched at UMass Boston, #1 team in D3 baseball for most of your years there, right? I mean, you guys were you were like the Endicott of what Endicott is now, right? So Coach pitched there, and then after he pitched there, he coached there for 2 seasons. He coached the pitchers, and then I stole him from UMass Boston to come with me. Also coached the pitchers in the NACBL League at Keene for the Keene Swamp Bats. Lives in Peabody with his dog, Tatum, 1 year old. What kind of dog, Nick? Named after Jason, I'm assuming? Yeah. Everyone know who Jason Tatum is? Better. I hope his Achilles heals soon. All right, Nick Palma. So Nick, hitting and outfield, coach at Gordon, also will work some with the first baseman. Played outfield and first base at UMass Boston. There's a common theme here. #1 team in D3 baseball while he was there as well. Nick's been with me the last 3 years at Antonelli Baseball. He's been my hitting coordinator. So I've kind of known when I got a job in college that he'd be working with the hitters. So here he is. He doesn't have a dog named Tatum. Frank Salona. So Frank, catching coach and assistant hitting coach at Gordon College. Frank caught, there's a theme, another theme. Frank caught at Franklin Pierce. They were the #1 team in D2 baseball while he was there, correct? Kind of powerhouse back then. Also caught at UMass Dartmouth. Coached the catchers and hitters at UMass Dartmouth for the last 3 years. This would be year 4 if you're still there. And then Brian Menduke. So Brian, doing baseball ops at Gordon College. Everyone know who Ernie Adams is? Anyone know who that is? No one knows who Ernie Adams is? Who knows who Ernie Adams is? Who's Ernie Adams? Yeah, he's the guy, exactly, that does everything, but no one knows what he does. Exactly. How do you guys not know who Ernie Adams is? Well, Brian's Ernie Adams, okay? Brian pitched at Bryant. Was a very good left-handed pitcher there. He's been with me for the last 8 years. Lives in Beverly, right down the road. How far? Like 5 minutes? 7? 7 minutes down the road with his wife, Corinne, his son, Noah, who's 1 year old. He's going to be a fighting Scot one day. Okay, and then me. So, obviously, I'm the head coach here. I played infield everywhere in the infield at Wake Forest from 04 to 06. I got drafted in the first round by the Padres in 06. Made my major league debut in 2008. Ended up playing 8 seasons professionally, Padres, Nationals, Orioles, Yankees, and the Indians fired me in 2013. My coaching career so far, once I got fired in 2013, I went to Wake Forest, worked with the infielders and the hitters. From there, I was a recruiting coordinator at Holy Cross, worked with the infielders and the hitters there as well. My son was born, so I got out of college coaching to spend more time with him and my wife. Then my daughter was born shortly after that, so it took me a little while to get back into college coaching. During that time away, I started my own program, Antonelli Baseball. We've had over 250, it's probably like 275. At this point, players move on to play college baseball. We've had 7 major league draft picks since we started. I live in Middleton, like 15 minutes away with my wife, Laura. Maddie's 10, Mia's 8. My dog, Lucy, is 1. She's a Cavapoo. Anyone know what a Cavapoo is? No? It's a cute little dog. First thing, it's a players first program. We're all in to make you guys the best versions of yourself on the field, in the classroom, the community, and in life. So everything we do is about you. We're only here because you're here. So we are here to serve you guys and make you the best players and people you can be. It says I, but we have an open door policy. So anything you need, you come and you see us. You call us, you text us, you let us know what you need. Because your voice matters. If something happens to you, I expect to hear it first, all right? Whether that's negative or positive. Something bad happens to you, I want to be the first one to know. You can talk to your parents and your family, but then I need to know. I don't want to hear about anything from someone else, or I don't want an athletic director or someone to call me and say, oh, did you hear that this happened to one of your players? You guys come and you tell us first. Okay, some resources that we've put into the school. So to show everyone how much it is a players first program, I've already made a huge investment. So I've already put $50,000 into our development. So we'll go into what I've put into already in the month that I've been here. The technology I'm going to talk about, it does rival most D1 programs. I've coached in 2 D1 programs. We'll use all the data collected through all of these different resources to accurately measure your performance, figure out what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and then we're going to create individualized plans for you guys to develop. So the first thing we got is a TrackMan. So TrackMan, everyone know what TrackMan is? If you don't know what it is, there's a picture of it. It's the same tech that every Major League Baseball organization uses. Every time you guys see a pitcher throwing a bullpen, TrackMan's on them. Used for pitch design and creating developmental plans. Every bullpen that you throw here, every game pitch that you throw, TrackMan will be on you. So we'll have all of that data. If you're a guy that loves data, awesome. If you're somebody that doesn't love data, we'll figure out what it means and we'll simplify it to help you. So you don't have to be worried if you're not big in the numbers. I know we've got a couple calculus guys here. One guy took it 3 times, Austin. Good. Carter, what's that class you're taking you just told me about? Oh, statics. Yeah. You'll understand TrackMan. If you don't know, it measures a million things, but here are some of them. Spin efficiency, release height, velocity, spin rate, horizontal and vertical movement, and a ton of other stuff. Coach Lepore will get into the weeds with all that stuff with you guys, as well as I will. Hit tracks. Basically, it measures everything that happens with the ball when you're hitting. So this is for hitters. Catchers can actually use this too. They've got a cool little feature, a little pop time thing. But it measures ball flight, exit velo, launch angle. It generates spray charts for us. It pairs every batted ball with video. So we've got a video attached to a little camera. Every time you swing, it's going to go into your profile. We'll have access to the video, to the numbers, and obviously we'll make that accessible to you guys. Same thing. We'll use the data to design developmental plans that target your specific needs. That's the big thing, is that it is all individualized. Not every hitter is going to need the same thing. We'll give you what you need. Blast motion. Hitters, I bought every player here their own blast motion. You guys will have that with you. It'll be your personal blast motion. Every swing you take in practice, scrimmages, or if you go do your own work, you'll have the blast motion on. It's going to track every swing you take. It's going to put into your personal profile and into what is called the coach's portal. So what does it track? It tracks bat speed, attack angle, vertical bat angle, time to contact, on-plane efficiency, rotational acceleration, like a million things, right? Lots of stuff. We also have a blast data analyst that works with us. They give us weekly reports, so they make these graphs and these charts that show trends and progress. So we're going to figure out what's the low-hanging fruit for you as a hitter. Maybe you need bat speed. Maybe your bat path needs to improve because your bat-to-ball skills aren't great. Whatever it is, we figure it out. We get the numbers when we assess you, when we get outside, and then we give you goals, and we're going to work towards the goals. Every time you hit, we're going to have an iPad set up next to the turtle outside, so when you guys are hitting, you'll probably hear it, but we're going to be able to see all these live. Right? So not only do we get it live, so we get feedback quickly, but then also all of your numbers are stored forever, and we're able to look at those numbers as well as the analyst and put together again. We'll have a plan for you, and we'll be able to figure out, okay, is your bat speed going up? Is it going down? Hopefully it's not going down, right? Where's your attack angle? Is it in the optimal range for you? And a bunch of other stuff. Fungo Man. So not many people know about this. Coolest thing I ever seen in my life. So we had it when I was with the Padres, and I always said if I was a coach, I'd buy it. And then once I got to be coach here, I bought it. Fungo Man's unbelievable. It holds like 200 balls. It will deliver game-like ball. It sounds like sci-fi, like Elon Musk built this thing. It delivers game-like ground balls, fly balls, receiving work, batting practice, whatever you want. So this is how it's going to work. It's going to be down at the field. Now, in practice, we're going to use it a bunch. But the really cool thing about it is if you want to go down and get your own work in, you set it up at home plate, comes with an iPad, you tell it what position you're playing, you tell it what you want. If I'm a shortstop and I want 50 ground balls, I want 10 backhand, 10 forehand, slow roller, a pop-up over my head, a top spinner, a back spinner, whatever I want, you plug it in, or you can just say, hit me ground balls, and it'll randomize it. And you press go, you go out into the field, and you get exactly the balls you want. It's like game-like. So it allows us to take thousands of extra reps before and after practice, as well as have an additional coach in the field during team practice. So one of the cool thing is in team practice, or maybe I take you guys out for early work, we'll talk in a minute, and maybe I'm working with like the middle infielders. Instead of me having to sit there and fungo, I can come out the shortstop and stand behind you and just tell the thing to shoot you a ball. I can also take the iPad, and if we're working glove side and you're getting there easy, I can just press a button and it go hit it 1 foot further, hit it 5 feet further, and then I can push your range. So I can just carry that around with me, and I can coach and talk. I don't have to run back and forth. Coach Nick doesn't have to hit 9,000 fungos and then run to the outfield to talk to you. He can just tell Fungal Man to hit it to you, and he can walk out there with you and coach you up.
Definitely uncommon in New England.
It's uncommon. That's why we got it. Okay, indoor facility. This is my private indoor facility. Some of you have been there before. You guys practiced there before, right? A few of you. Okay, so we're going to give you guys access to this 24/7. I say 24/7, but obviously in the wintertime, we're going to have some team practices for my program. And so the best times are usually early in the day or later at night. But as long as there's no one there, you guys are going to be able to just punch in the code like upstairs in the clubhouse, and you'll be able to go in and use it. And we'll talk about some of the rules later. We've got 3 hacks set up. We got automatic feeders, so you just press play and the thing just shoots you at 150 balls. We got the hit tracks right over here. So every ball you hit, you'll be able to see. So you guys are going to be able to use this. Pitchers, we've got this area over here, double bullpen mounds right here. It's 85 feet long, I think. Got tons of room. We got a plyo wall in the back, got J-bands. We got a weight room back there too, but we've got a nicer one here. We will probably use this for some practice during the winter, but it's also, like I said, it's available for you guys to get extra work in. So as you can see, we are all in. We're all in. We all have to be all in everything we do. So we need 100% buy-in. You can't be half in and half out, all right? You've got to be all the way in. You're going to be trained to be the best you possibly can be. You'll be the most prepared team in the country. You will use your training, the training we give you, to play to the best of your ability. That's our goal, right? So we're going to be preparing you to be the absolute best player you can be so that when game time comes in the spring, you let it out and you do it. Couple other things. Committed to excellence. So making excellence a habit in everything you do. We're going to work harder than everyone. That is going to be a big thing here. I don't know what has gone on in the past. I don't know how we've worked in the past. Again, I said I really don't care. But we're going to ask a lot of you. It's going to be hard. But they said it last night. I wrote this before. He tried to steal my line. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it in the end. You've got to have a growth mindset. So you've got to be looking to improve at everything you do. And you have to be open to constructive criticism. We'll talk more about that in a second. And you got to really fall in love with the process. So consistent daily improvement, that's the goal. Get better every single day. If we all get 1% better every single day, we will be ready to roll in the spring and we'll have a successful season. Humility, I just mentioned this a minute ago. You've got to be humble enough to learn and to grow. You got to be open to feedback and you got to remove your ego. I don't claim to know everything. When I talk to you about whatever it is, I just want you to be open. And we can have a conversation. If we say something you don't agree with, I'm perfectly fine with you saying, Coach, why is that? Or Coach, this is the way I did it in the past. I'm cool with that. We've all been players here. I play with a lot of organizations. I've had to have hard conversations with people. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I was wrong. But I'm fine with you talking to us. We're going to give you the reasons for why we're having you do what we want you to do. And again, I believe in clear, open, and honest feedback and being real. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So that is key. So when you ask me, you might ask, why am I not playing? Or why am I not playing this position? Whatever. I'm going to be brutally honest with you. You can be honest with me. That's fine. Right? But you have to be able to take criticism. I'm not going to demean you. I'm just going to tell you what it is that I think you need to hear to get better. Everything we're doing is to help you. Keep that in mind. I'm never going to attack anybody. I might get mad sometimes, but we're not going to attack or demean anybody. But we're going to tell you what we feel you need to hear to get better. And then being accountable. So taking ownership and following through. Accountability to me is doing what you say you're going to do. Holding yourself and your teammates to the highest standard. No excuses. I put we is greater than me. And then the team, because ultimately everything's about all of us, right? So we're going to help you individually be as good as you can be, but it really only matters how we come together as a team. And you got to have the self-discipline to do what's right for yourself and the team. For me, self-discipline, this is my definition of self-discipline. Doing what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. You need extra ground balls, you might not feel like it, you need to do it. Disciplined people do it. If you're not disciplined, you won't do it. If you don't do it, you won't be as good as you can be, and you won't help the team as much. You may not play as much. So there's a lot of things that I don't want to do, but I do it because I have trained myself to be disciplined. I know it needs to be done. I do it whether I want to do it or not. That's how you be great at things. We've got to have a ton of energy. It starts at practice when we start next week. But anything you do, this isn't just on the field. This is in life, in the community, in the classroom. You got to have passion and enthusiasm in everything that you do. Energy is contagious. You got to be one speed. It's got to be full speed. We'll make sure we have lots of energy. And just bring your best every day. No matter what you're doing, just bring your best. Toughness, adversity is coming to everybody. The best teams face it. The worst teams face it. So it's not about the adversity. It's about how you handle the adversity. How resilient are you? How mentally tough are you? So we're going to challenge you to be your best when your best is needed. Practice is going to be hard. It's got to be hard because if we don't challenge you then, when the game starts and we're playing Endicott in a huge game, that can't be the first time you've had to deal with adversity. You have to have dealt with it earlier than that. And the more you deal with it and the more you learn how to deal with it, the better you get at handling it. So you've got to have grit. Can you go longer, push harder, think sharper, and never quit? And that's on the field, in the weight room, in the classroom, in the community. Teams with grit overcome. Respect. We're going to show you guys respect at all times. We expect you to show respect to your teammates, to your coaches, to the opponents, the umpires, to faculty, to the staff. When we're playing other teams, we're going to talk about ourselves. We're not going to, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're not playing anyone for a while. We're not going to talk to the other team. We're going to talk to ourselves. We're going to cheer our guys on. We're going to respect the game. We're going to hustle on and off the field. I say run your best time. If you're running your best time. You run a 4.0 to the first base from home, you run a 4.0 every time. You run a 4.9, try to get faster, and run a 4.9 every time, right? So you've always got to run your best time. You got to play the game the right way. Conduct yourself in a sportsmanlike manner, both on and off the field at all times. That'll be big. If you do something I don't like, I'll talk to you. If it continues, then we'll just take you off the field. Relationships. So I've always been a believer that no one cares what you know until they know that you care. Sounds kind of corny, but I think it's true. And so you'll realize pretty quickly that we care about you guys, and I think that that's the best way to be able to coach you. Because if you think that I'm only telling you something because it'll benefit me or benefit us, you're not as likely to listen. If you know that we care about you and we're looking out for your best interest, you'll be much more open, you'll listen. So spend time connecting and caring. We're going to do that. You guys got to do the same. We're trying to create deep, meaningful relationships with us, with the coaches, but also with your teammates, with the community, and with God. So it's not just a us and you thing. It's every aspect of your life. When you're in the classroom this year, first you got to manage your time well. And we're going to be on top of your grades, and I have it down here at the bottom. That's going to be a goal of ours. But we've got to manage your time well. We're going to practice hard. We're going to practice a lot. But we're going to also make sure we do everything we need to do in the classroom. So you got to be prepared and be punctual for every class that you take. Attendance at all classes is mandatory. So I do not want to get a call that you're not going to class, because then there will be problems, and then we'll talk. You're going to class. I've gone to class. I've coached a bunch of players. Here are some simple things to make it easy for you. Sit in the front 3 rows. That'll help you stay engaged, take good notes, build relationships with your professors. Super important. Ask for help if it's needed. If you do those things, it'll make class so much easier for you. I put a goal as lead all of Gordon Athletics in GPA. We got a couple of wicked smart guys back here, I know, so that'll help us. But everybody's got to pull their weight.
And now it says manage your time. Early is on time. Okay? Which means on time is what? Later.
Exactly. You beat me to one of my slides, Coach. When I think about faith, I think about glorifying God in all that we do, pursuing Christ through the way we play, striving for excellence without cutting corners to become great men and reflect Jesus in both process and outcome. And again, that is not, I put in the way we play, but that can be in the way you live and the way you act. That's every part of your life. So some things that we're going to do, and we can do plenty more. We're going to do a devotional before and after each team event, led by the players and or the coaches. We are going to have team Bible study, and we're going to do a mandatory team Bible study twice a month after practice. When practice ends on Thursdays, twice a month, we're going to do a Bible study. I think that's important. Chapel. We're going to sit as a team. I know you guys did that today, and then I'll be in attendance. So I'll be there with you. Make sure we take pride in our space. So just try to leave it better than you found it, whether that's the field, the clubhouse, the weight room, or the facility. So in the field, we're going to talk to you guys as we get closer, but we want to make sure that the field is set up and ready to go. Pitchers are going to make sure that you take pride in your mound. Hitters will take pride in the plate. We'll make sure we tarp it when we need to. We're going to clean and sweep the dugouts. You guys are going to have jobs to make sure we keep the field nice. The field, I'll tell you this, and I know some of you have been down there. The field, when I got here, not in very good condition. We've only technically been here I've been on the road recruiting all summer. My dad's been down there a lot. We've already painted all the dugouts, painted the benches. We have more paint coming in tomorrow. We're doing the Gordon blue on the shingles. We've built a lot of new things. We're edging the field today. We're doing all of it. My dad's been doing a ton of it, but we're all doing it. The field is going to be top notch. We're all in. I'm all in on making the field as nice of a field as we can possibly have. I think it's important. So let's treat it that way. And no trash. Make sure the trash picked up. Keep your lockers organized and clean. We'll talk about loops here in a second and doing laundry, but make sure it's clean. Our offices are right outside of it. I put in some nice air fresheners. I put in some nice air fresheners to make it smell like lavender. It smells good. Let's try to keep it nice. Take care of your stuff. Weight room. Re-rack all your weights. Throw all your trash away. Anything we use when we leave, it should be pristine. And then the facility, if you use the facility, just turn the lights off when you leave. If someone's there, obviously keep them on. But if you're only one there, turn the lights off when you leave. Make sure the door's closed. No trash. Okay, team practice. So you guys saw the schedule already. We're practicing Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 6. We're also going to be able to have individual work throughout the day depending on your class schedule, and we'll talk to you guys about that. You're free to do as much work as you want, but we may grab you and say, hey, we're going to hit today. We're going to get some extra fielding in. We need to work on our pickoffs to second. Saturday, we're going to inter-squad, 9:30. I put 2:30. It's a rough estimate. So 9:30, we're going to go through like a game day. So we'll stretch, we'll throw, we'll hit, we'll do all of our work. We'll get in a few extra ground balls, fly balls, all that stuff. There might be something that we want to work on that day, and then we'll get into scrimmages. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays are optional. Sundays are off. What does optional mean? So optional means on those days we cannot be with you. We can't be out there helping you. But that doesn't mean that you can't get work done. I will say that if we want to be really good, then 3 days a week is not enough to work. You got to work more. Now we're going to talk about weightlifting here in a minute and strength training. But on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, one of the reasons we invested so much money in all this stuff is so that you guys can use it. So the fungal man will always be out there. So if you don't have class on certain times on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, if you're a defensive player, there's no reason why you can't be out there getting work. But we're not going to be there with you. You guys do it on your own. So it's important to get your work done. We're going to make it really easy for you to get your work in, and then you've got to be able to do it. Coach Palmer's favorite slide, practice non-negotiables. Early is on time. So 10-minute rule. You must be ready to go before the start of practice. You got to make sure the field's set up. So what does that mean, ready to go? It means you are in full attire, you're down at the field, you're helping get that thing set up. So that when 3 o'clock hits, we're not waiting for anyone. Now, if you have a class or something, obviously, that's okay. But if you don't have class, you've got to be down there early, ready to roll. We have to take advantage of every minute we got on the practice field. You're going to be present and engaged. When the coaches talk, players are silent, and you're attentive, okay? If I'm saying something, it's important. If any of the coaches are saying something, it's important. We got to practice fast, but also be fearless. So 100% relentless effort all the time in practice, without fear of making mistakes. I will not get mad at people for going fast and taking risks in practice and making mistakes. But I don't want you to be tentative. So when we get out there, the first practice, you might be a little nervous if you're an infielder, and you might be sitting back and letting the ball bounce 12 times because you're afraid that if you try to pick a hop and you miss it, I might say something. I would much rather you take a chance, go get the ball. You miss it, it's okay. We'll coach you up. But don't play scared or afraid, because you can't play that way in the game. You can't have any fear of making mistakes. That's when mistakes happen. And you got to be coachable again. So we're going to coach you up. You just got to be able to accept constructive criticism. Okay, practice attire, team gear. At practice, be in team gear. Practice plan, we'll send it out on GroupMe, so you'll have an idea of exactly what we're going to do practice time. And then the last thing is just competing and earning your spot. So nothing's guaranteed. Every day is a tryout. As I said before, you might have been the 4-hole hitter. You might have been the starting shortstop. You might have been whatever. You might have never played an inning in the history of Gordon. It doesn't matter, because nothing's guaranteed and every day is a tryout. So at practice, you compete your butt off to be one of the starting 9. In the game, you cheer on your teammate and you accept whatever role you're given. I didn't write this in here, but every role is important. You might be called to be a pinch hitter. You might be a bullpen arm. You might be a pinch runner. You might be nothing that day. You might just literally have to be the best teammate in the world. When the game starts, you accept your role. You do your role to the best of your ability. In practice, you try to kick the other guy's ass. You try to beat him out for his spot. Okay? That's how it goes. Communicate directly with the coaching staff regarding any issues related to playing time, roles, or concerns. So parent involvement in these matters will not be part of the process. We want to talk to you guys. If you have an issue, come talk to us. Like I said, open door policy. We are more than happy to talk about anything. However, keep in mind, we put a buffer period. So players, if you would like to have a conversation, please don't do it at the field. Just call us or talk to us and set up a time to come and meet. So if you're not happy about something, don't grab us at the field and try to talk to us there about something you aren't happy about. There'll be times during the year where you might get upset. Cool down, go eat dinner, relax. Shoot me a message, call me. Coach, can I talk to you tomorrow? Sure thing. What time you want to meet? Let's meet and talk about it. Strength training. So to compete at a championship level, we must get bigger, stronger, faster. We have to be the most physical team. I went to one game last year. I went to the game against Endicott. I got to the field. I don't think anyone knew I was there. It was evident early that they were much bigger, stronger, and faster than our team in general. Not everybody, but in general. I've talked to Coach Haley at Endicott. He always talks about how the biggest thing in his program has been how they've gotten bigger and stronger and faster than the competition the last few years. We need to catch them when it comes to physicality. Mental toughness is also built in the weight room. Learning how to push through discomfort, and you have to embrace the hard. So when you've got your 8th rep of squats and you barely feel like you can get up and you're going to pass out, like Phil said last night when Phil wanted to puke, he loved puking. Okay, strength training schedule during our fall season. We have 3 days a week in the weight room. Monday, 6 to 7, Wednesday, 4 to 5, Friday, 6 to 7. This has got to be a huge component of our success. Being physical, being strong, being fast. Some guys are going to have to gain weight. Some guys are going to have to lose weight. We'll figure that out as we get to know you, and then we'll make sure that your strength training plan is tailored towards your goals, just like we would with your hitting, with your pitching, with your fielding, with any component of your game. I'll end with this. Culture drives expectations and beliefs, which drives behaviors, which creates habits, which produce your future. So it's all about culture. If you don't have a good culture, you don't have a good future. Everything we talked about is what our culture is going to be about. But tomorrow night, I do want you guys to come up with the mission statement and talk about your core values. Because, yes, these are mine, but you've got to live them. That's all I've got. Any questions? Yeah. If you've got class, the class comes first. Has everyone sent in their class schedule? If you haven't, make sure you get it into the group meet because we did that today in the office and put it together. But we want to be able to look and see exactly, okay, who's, like Nick was already telling me today, okay, we're going to have issues on Tuesdays and Thursdays with these players getting here at this time. Okay, now we know.
First of all, thank you.
You're welcome.
Just from this meeting and all the equipment and all the what you're bringing to us, it is already a step ahead. And I'm blown away right now. This is the best I think we've been taken care of just from this meeting alone. So it's very, very, very cool.
Thank you.
Right, there's a lot of good going on here. And it's going to be to the advantage that you guys take of it, to take advantage of that opportunity. Like, as Matt said, like, I know winning here has not been something that has happened a lot. That doesn't mean anything for this year. It is a new staff. We have some guys back. We brought in some new players. This year has nothing to do with all the previous, like, past years. So those opportunities, like, as Matt has alluded to in everyone here, like, you don't get a lot of those at a lot of Division III programs. I'm sure if you polled a lot of your friends, if any of your friends play in this conference, they are probably not getting anywhere near the resources that you will all have in front of you. That opportunity for you guys, this doesn't come along for a lot of Division III players. Take advantage of this opportunity. And this spring, we can go out and compete in this conference. So that potential is there. So now it's like, how can we realize that with all these resources that you have here and a lot of great coaches on staff?
Just to continue off that, I'm happy to be here, and I think I can speak for everybody when I say that we're all happy to be resourced for you guys. But we can't want it more than you. And I know that we all want it really bad. Why do we want it? Is so that you guys can experience a little bit of what we've been through with the buy-in and eliminating excuses, right, and watching it all come together. So we want it bad for you guys, right? But you guys have to want it more than us. You have to remember that.
To add to that, if you're a freshman, if you're a transfer, like in that meeting, don't be afraid to speak up. This year's kind of that reset. We're trying to win this year. What are some of the values from the Gordon team last year that really worked for you guys? Some of them probably did, some of those values didn't. Some of you have played in other great high school programs or great college programs. Speak up and say like this is what really worked for us, at this school or that school, and like these are things like that's something that you think is important here at Gordon. So, whether you've been here 3 years, 4 years, or this you've been on campus for the first time for in the last like 2 days, like 3 days, like don't be afraid to speak up.
And hold yourself to the highest standard, right? Individually and team-wise. Like if you want to hold yourself to a high standard, if you want to win a lot of games against other teams outside of competition, we've got to be the best around here to do that. Like just the way that we carry ourselves, the way that we operate on a daily basis, right? Like volleyball team, basketball team, like everybody around here should look at us as the best, like most disciplined team, best team. It all kind of goes together, right? That's how we should be looking to carry ourselves around.
Anyone want to break us down? Okay. You can. Amen. All right, fellas.